If you've struggled to find a pull-up technique that works for you, I hear you. If you don't connect with your lats easily, or if you get elbow pain when doing pull-ups, this video is for you. Today I'm going to share with you the pull-up cue that I use when doing pull-ups or chin-ups. I did pull-ups for years without notably developing my lats or really ever feeling a strong connection with them. Once I implemented this cue, there was a light bulb moment where suddenly this exercise that I thought I knew so well suddenly took on a completely different feeling. But first I'll share a bit of background. 3 years ago, I was training pull-ups and I started to get pain on the inside of my elbows. I wanted to keep training, so I just powered through it, but of course it got worse, not better. Eventually, I had to stop doing pull-ups and go see a physiotherapist. They told me that I had golfer's elbow. This is an injury that's very common for people who do a lot of pull-ups or for climbers, of which I am both. Over the next 2 years, this injury would plague me. Of all the training-related injuries I've ever had, this was the most persistent. I'd finally see symptoms resolve, and then I'd re-injure myself climbing. Each time I attempted to start training pull-ups again, I'd start to notice pain within 1 to 2 months. I started to think that pull-ups and me just weren't meant to be. But of course, that type of pessimism isn't very productive, so I was determined to find a solution. As I mentioned in my previous video, just a small change in tempo was the first modification that I made. That should be linked in the card. Implementing the tempo change allowed me to be more self-aware of how my muscles were feeling while doing pull-ups and which muscles were actually working as I pull myself up to the bar. Because I'd feel the fatigue of pull-ups more so in my arms, biceps, and brachioradialis than in my back, I realized that something about the way I was pulling just wasn't right. So here's what I discovered. I realized that if I focused on pulling my shoulders down on each repetition, it became a lot easier. So I'd actually heard this cue before from lots of coaches online, but I never truly understood it. The way I was taught, I thought that I should start each rep by going from a passive hang with my shoulders shrugged or relaxed to an active hang where the shoulders are depressed, and then keep the shoulders depressed throughout the entire pull-up. But it turns out that doing so limits the amount of depression I'm able to actually get. Here's an easy test. Put your arms overhead and maximally depress your shoulder blades while keeping your arms upright. You'll find a bit of rotation going on and a strong urge to bring your arms down. If I do a pull-up from that position, I find that my shoulder blades stay in this position, and then at the top I have like an inch of extra depression that I could have done, but didn't. Instead, what I do now is to use the cue of depression as being the entire movement. It's not about bending the arms or to bring the chin up to the bar or bring the chest up, but really just bringing my shoulders as low as possible, like imagining them sliding all the way down my back to my hips. This depresses the shoulder blades maximally and fully extends the humerus, bringing the elbows down as well. So now I think of the pull-up more as one single motion run by the lats and pecs, which are the main shoulder depressors, which as a byproduct ends up bending the elbows. When I do this, I feel super pumped in the lats and even a bit in the pecs when I'm doing chin-ups. In pull-ups, I don't feel it in the pecs as much. But doing this has really helped me steadily add weight to my chin-ups, getting really nice pumps and strength development in the lats, all while having literally zero elbow pain. Something about the newfound form seems to be taking a bit of stress off the elbow and making things so much better for me. So give it a shot and see if it works for you. As with all exercise cues, we all connect with different things, so if you have a cue that works better for you, of course there's no need to change. If you're making consistent, pain-free progress in your pull-ups, you've probably already got a technique that works really well. Let us know in the comments what you focus on for your pull-up or chin-up form. Thanks and have a great day.